All right, today we are pulling back the curtain on one of the most important pieces of the internet you've probably never heard of. It's this invisible network that, well, it makes everything fast.
You know that feeling, right? You click a link and you just... You know that feeling, right? You click a link and you just, wait, staring at a blank screen, getting more and more frustrated. And it's so easy to blame your Wi-Fi, but a lot of the time, that's not the real problem. The real culprit is just distance.
So what's the secret weapon that makes the good websites feel so snappy? It's something called a Content Delivery Network, or CDN for short.
And here's the thing, you are using this system all day, every day, and you probably don't even know it.
Okay, so to really get why the solution is so smart, we have to understand the problem first. And again, this isn't about your internet connection being slow. This is a problem of pure physics, the physics of sending information around the world.
So traditionally, a website lives on one single computer somewhere. We call this the origin server. When you type in that website's address, your computer has to send a request all the way to that one specific spot on the globe, grab the data, and then haul it all the way back to your screen.
And that travel time, that delay, it's a much bigger deal than you'd think. I mean, tech giants like Amazon and Google have actually studied this, and they found that a delay of even half a second causes people to lose trust in a website. In our world, speed isn't just a cool feature, it's everything, it's credibility.
Which brings us to the real villain of the story, distance. It's simple, really. If a website server is in one country, there's just no way it can give a fast experience to someone on the complete opposite side of the planet. It just can't.
Let's make this real. Imagine a website's main server is sitting in India. Well, if you're also in India, that site is going to feel super fast. Great. But what if you're trying to use it from the US or Japan? Well, now your request has to travel thousands and thousands of miles, across oceans, under the sea, and that long trip means a slow, frustrating wait for you.
And there's a technical word for this delay. It's called latency. It's basically the travel time for data. Think of it like this. It's the difference between mailing a letter across town and mailing it overseas. It doesn't matter how fast the plane is, that journey just takes time. You literally can't beat the speed of light.
So this old-school single-server model gives you two massive headaches. First, you've got that high latency for anyone who isn't a close neighbor. And second, you have a huge mess of legal issues, because a lot of countries have really strict rules about where their citizens' data can be stored.
All right, so you've got a global audience and one lonely little server. How do you fix that? Well, the solution is just beautiful in its simplicity. Instead of making the user travel all the way to the server, you bring the server to the user. And that is exactly what a CDN is. It's not one server, it's a whole network of them, a team of servers, all placed in strategic locations all over the world. Each of those servers holds a copy, or a cache, of the website's static content. You know, the heavy files that don't change very often, like images, videos, and all that.
Here's the best way to think about it. Imagine if there was only one library for the entire planet. Getting a book would be a nightmare, right? A CDN is like building thousands of small, local library branches. You just go to the one closest to you to get your book, or in this case, all the website's pictures and videos.
The whole process is incredibly smart and efficient. So you go to a website, the CDN system immediately figures out where you are in the world. And instead of sending your request halfway around the globe, it just points you to the local server right there in your neighborhood. That server delivers the content, and boom, latency is pretty much gone.
So yeah, putting the content closer solves the distance problem. But, the benefits do not stop there. It also makes websites way cheaper to run, since the main server isn't doing all the heavy lifting anymore, and they're way more reliable. If one of those local servers goes down, your request just gets automatically rerouted to the next closest one. The site stays online. It's faster, cheaper, and more reliable. That's why they're just essential for the modern internet.
And the difference in performance is it's night and day. For someone far away from the main server, the load time can be painfully slow. But when you serve that exact same content from a nearby CDN server, that time just plummets. It's a totally different and much better experience. So, the really good CDNs, they nail three key things. First, they have a massive network of servers, so there's always one close to you. Second, they automatically take care of all those complicated local data rules. And third, they make it super easy for developers to actually plug the whole thing into their website.
So let's just put them side by side. The old way, one server, gives you slow speeds for most of the world, regulatory nightmares, and frustrated visitors. But with a CDN, you get a fast experience for everybody, simple legal compliance, and most importantly, happy visitors who actually stick around. It's a no-brainer, really.
So at the end of the day, why does any of this matter to you? Well, because CDNs are the unsung heroes that make the entire global internet actually feel, global, instead of feeling like it's a million miles away. If you want to boil it all down to one sentence, it's this. A CDN is basically a smart black box that takes all the heavy stuff on a website, like images and videos, and copies it to locations close to you.
And you know that feeling of trust we talked about?
That instant, snappy response you get from a really high-quality website, that right there, that is the magic of a CDN, working quietly in the background to make your experience better.
It's incredible, really. A CDN can make a website built on one side of the planet feel like it was made right next door. It's a technology that truly shrinks our world. And it really makes you wonder, what's going to be the next big thing that makes physical distance feel completely irrelevant?